Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing show. I am just one of your hostess with the mostest, the Seattle Slam and Stud, the beast of a man among men, the man that your mother dreams about, and the one that your father fears, Clayton Kisco. And I am with the rest of the Maelstrom gamers here. Of course, we have over here Steve-O, or Steven Landis, the bad boy, the man that loves cops so much he has been on an episode.
Yes. 3 times.
At some point in his life, he might sell you a taco.
Yes.
Steven Landis.
Yes, immediately.
God. Bad boy.
What's up?
Boom. And then, of course, last but not least, we have right over here to my right. Yes, the least.
Right.
We have what all the men call the heartthrob. The man that still rocks a beeper phone, flip phone, and a fanny pack. Because he says they're coming back in style.
They are.
Rocco Avellino.
Yeah. That's right, guys. Starting my day off with some beer.
There you go.
Right.
Yep, I'm joining you.
Me too.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
So, we're going to start off this podcast here today. You can always go to our YouTube page, like, subscribe. Definitely, it helps us out a bunch. Comment, because we definitely want to hear from you guys. Go to our Patreon page. You can watch us streaming games on YouTube, like Smite, League of Legends. There's a lot of different games that we're getting into.
Uncharted 4 too, as well, has been going on a little bit.
That's right. And definitely we enjoy it, and we appreciate everything from everyone. So
Yep.
let's go ahead and kick this off. We're going to go ahead and go with Rocco's topic
Okay.
to start it off. What
Sounds
do you got
good.
for us?
Okay, so what I got today is about it's about how young is too young for technology. And I know that we've kind of touched a little base on this a little bit, in the past about kind of like cell phones and things like that. But let's just not talk about cell phones only. Let's talk about like iPads too as well. Let's talk about like, PlayStations, gaming consoles, just even the PC itself, like, or even TV, like technology itself, everything that encompasses that. How young is too young, do you guys feel? Steve-O, I know you got children right now. I've got children too as well. Ian, you got, nieces and nephews. You can kind of have to think about this one real quick.
Yeah.
Or do you just have nieces?
No, I got nieces and nephews. I got all.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, both.
Yeah,
I've
I've been.
have to just think about what do you think would be too young, and even for just for the future.
Oh, of course.
Because here's a statistic real quick. I want to let you guys know about. What they're saying right now is that there was a survey that was done by a coupon brand. They said that the average age of the first cell phone owner is 6 years old.
Whoa.
6 years old. Okay, so 53% of American children owning a cell phone by the time their 7th birthday arrives. 53% of Americans at 7 years old have a cell phone. Do you guys think that that's good?
No, that's way
No.
too young. Way too young.
Now, why is that too young then? Like, what is it that's too young about that?
Well, I was gonna say,
go ahead.
the biggest thing I'm noticing with the girls and everything like that is their communication skills. More than anything, everything they communicate is through the phone. Like I picked up.
So is it an improvement or?
No, it's a hinder.
Okay.
It's a hinder to communication skills.
Okay.
I mean, they do talk. I mean, it's like you're talking over text and you're talking over like, I don't know, Google Plus, whatever they're using and everything like that. And then you go and they actually hang out and they don't know what the hell to do. So they're sitting there texting each other instead of talking to each other, which is kind of weird.
Well, I got a question for
Huh.
you. Do you feel like adults kind of do that thing sometimes too? Like, have you ever sat
Well,
around and like people just whip out the phones and conversation stops?
Thank God you said
Well,
phones.
I understand. I mean, I understand what you're talking about, but I'm not going to sit there and you're going to be right across from me and I'm going to text you. You know what I'm talking?
That's what they're doing right now?
That's what they're doing.
Oh, really?
That's pretty
Conversation
extreme,
back
yeah.
and forth. So that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
they don't know. I mean, they know how to
Now,
react.
why do you
like,
think that that's the case though? Why does that? How did that form? Like, why?
Probably because
Like,
of
because think of
technology
cause
too
and
young.
effect. Like, what was the cause that this is now the effect that they now, when they socialize together, they're texting instead of talking and communicating
It's
verbally.
because they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate. They don't only know how to communicate over texting or.
But what was the cause? Like, what started it? Like, where did they learn to fail communication? Was it from the cell? Like, When did they get their cell phones?
Oh, Kira got hers when she got into 6th grade.
So in 5th grade, when she sat with her
She
friends.
was 11.
So when she sat with her friends in 5th grade, how did she communicate? Did she do it normally? Like, no, I mean, before she had the cell phone?
Well, and why? Why did they get them?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she communicated at school and everything very good with her friend. I mean, I don't know. She was always a good student and everything.
Yeah.
Bella's good with communicating.
She
Like,
still is, okay.
She's been good, but she got hers when she was in 7th.
Okay.
So I mean,
A little later.
granted, I
Yeah.
mean they might have been texting each other because they didn't want to hear what they were talking about. They might have
True.
been doing that too.
Okay, that's,
So
yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly, but like I do feel like it would kind of hinder a little
Yeah.
bit because like the thing is they do seem kind of, I mean, but then I don't know if that's just all kids or not, but they seem kind of shy when it comes to like ordering food or you know what I mean, like or communication skills kind of type thing.
So you feel like it kind of hinders the communication side, like the social side of your life.
Right, yeah, and
In a way.
I also think it kind of doesn't broaden the mind a little bit too. Like,
Ian brought up a really good point, though. Why did they get the cell phones?
Yeah.
At 5th and 7th
okay,
grade?
well, Bella got her cell phone at 7th grade because, she was walking to the bus stop alone, and we wanted to make sure she was getting on the bus and everything like that.
Sorry, everybody, for that technical difficulty, but Steve-O, you were saying the reasoning behind Bella getting her cell phone at 7th grade and Kira at 5th grade. What was the reasoning there?
Yeah.
Well, it was 6th grade for Kira, but the reason was because, she was going to the bus stop, walking, you know, by herself and everything. We want to make sure she was okay. Plus, she was getting bullied.
Okay.
So trying to make sure she was okay and everything like that because the girl would not stop no matter
So
what.
what I'm hearing is like safety reasons is why the phone came around.
Right, and then Kira got hers. We weren't going to let her get hers till 7th grade because they went to the bus stop together anyways. But then her dad ended up getting her a cell phone without us knowing about it. So.
Gotcha. So when she first got her cell phone and stuff like that, Bella, which obviously was the first one, because she's the oldest, what was that like? Like, what did she have full range, like access to the cell phone, or did you guys limit it?
Full range, yeah.
And
Like they already got on the pod.
Like, what was that full range? Like, what did that entail at that time? Did she have Facebook? Did she have Twitter? You know,
No
Instagram?
Facebook.
Like, what was there?
Well,
There's no Facebook. They have like an instant messenger app and everything on their phone.
okay.
Between their friends and they never use a texting. They usually use like an instant messenger app or something like that.
Gotcha.
Well, also, do they like? Are they able to download any games or like other things so like free, or do you have to really look at what they're putting on their phone? Do you like keep track of that at all?
No, I mean we for the most part we do. Like we know that what they have as far as like the social media goes out there. Like
Okay.
they have an Instagram, but we won't let them have a Facebook because
Yeah, Facebook.
around that time, like a lot of the things.
Well, how
that
old are
happened
your
with-
girls right now?
Well, Belle's about to be turning 15 in January, and Kira's about to be 12.
She's gonna
and
be driving.
next week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so have you guys seen the videos recently about the children being people were trying to kidnap the children in broad daylight inside of stores? Like
yeah, I saw that.
one where the guy was trying to drag out this teenage girl, or did you guys see the one where this lady was sitting inside of a store with her holding her little baby and then had another little child, younger
I shared
guy
that
tried to
video,
snag the girl? Okay, so
Right.
so obviously safety is a good reasoning for technology to kind of come around. I mean, I understand your reasoning there, Steve. Do I think that the cell phone is really like? I understand that that's like a number one source right now because like, what are you gonna do? You get a walkie-talkie? You know what I mean? Like, are you
Right.
gonna be able to like, and how's that gonna work? Because I like the feature, the idea of the walkie-talkie better, right? Just the ability to make contact during a situation where the child feels unsafe or we feel unsure about a situation as a parent. So you want to be able to get in contact with your kid. I like the walkie-talkie idea. I don't really care about the idea of the access to the phone because it does open up them to all different kinds of things if it's not being constantly like supervised. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that, because social media is so big that it can expose them to those individuals that are trying to like run out there and do something wrong, like those ones we saw in the videos recently over Facebook. So
Well-
there was a device that kind of was recently created, and this is where my point is kind of going to, that like with technology at least, there's some good technology and technology I think that kind of does hinder, like you were saying, Steve, not just so much socially. I think is just like A lot. You know, there's like right now, you know, as adults, I find it addicting sometimes that I constantly see myself flowing right back to Facebook. To think that a child at a young age isn't going to do that's ridiculous of me, especially when entertainment's like kind of their number one thing, at least the way that we perpetuate with society. It's like entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. So why wouldn't they stare at their phones 24/7?
Right.
But the video I was going to say was there is this thing, it's called the snow fox, okay? It's I know you guys aren't gonna really be able to see it too well. It's called the snow fox.
Yeah, I can't see
and
anything.
it's a little it's not, you're not gonna be able to really see it. Okay, so it's a little device. It's made for parents to give to their children at young ages, and it's pretty much like the walkie-talkie concept. Except for it's just like a little square kind of thing, and it's got a GPS in it, so parents can see exactly where their kids are located at any time they want to. It also will update you if they go outside of an area you restrict as like not okay to go play in. So you can set up a boundary with its GPS coordinates.
Yeah.
So if they go outside of that, it notifies you immediately. Also, you can contact it and say, hey, you know, what are you doing? And they can hear you back and stuff like that too, like a walkie-talkie / cell phone, but not going to be able to have the apps and all the different things. So that's a technology where I'm like, oh, really cool for that young side, because as parents, yeah, we do want to have that safety side. And there's this like hate and love relationship about the idea of a cell phone. Like, I want to make sure that my kid's safe. I want to make sure that they're okay and they can contact me in any type of situation. But at the same time, I don't want my kid to be now fully exposed to this whole other world that I feel like is not really helping them while they're growing in life.
Right.
You know what I mean? What do you guys think about things like PlayStations and gaming consoles? What do you think about things like that? Do you feel like it like deters you? Because as like a child, here's my example. Like when I got into gaming, I got into it when I was like 14 years old, and you
were younger than that.
But I mean in a real hardcore game.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Like getting into like EverQuest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so when that happened, my life changed. No longer was I really choosing to go outside and do things outside as much as I was really like kind of just want to now play my game.
Right.
Because I'm so into that now, and I'm so consumed in that reality, I don't really give a shit about actual reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So this is kind of my own experience, and that happened a little bit like 14, but I think it's happening at a younger age now because people are, children are exposed to games that are
way
a lot
younger,
which I feel like for us came around our 14 years old.
Yeah.
Those games changed. They became way more enjoyable, which kids now have access to at 6 years old.
Now,
you know.
Now, if you think about it, you're talking about as far as safety reasons and everything goes. Like, you really think like, what else would have been doing, Rocco, besides doing EverQuest?
No, honestly, that's a good argument too, because of the fact that I probably would have been a lot of my friends at those times and stuff like that. They were choosing to do some drinking at those times. There's 14, which was high school. They were choosing to do some drinking. They were choosing to do some smoking. I wasn't about those decisions. I wanted to make sure that I was like keeping myself straight edge. So by choosing the gaming route, it did help me keep away from that. At the same time, I could have also made choices outside and in reality that weren't based off of just the drugs and the drinking situation, and still had gone out and exposed myself to life and a lot of different experiences, which I still chose not to do. You know what I mean? So like, yes and no. Like, yeah, it kept me away from some things, but it still kept me away from maybe just going to the beach and hanging out with friends who weren't doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
you know?
and I totally get your point, because I mean nowadays, like, kids are sitting there playing their video games all day and not even going outside, and can't even throw a football or anything like that. And it's like, wait, they're like 10, 11, 12. You can't do something that I was probably doing at 6, 4,
because
or 5.
Outside, nonstop.
Right. And I mean, we're getting into that world where, you know, parents are like, oh, well, they're safer inside kind of thing, you know, and it's like, that's not the case, and technology is expanding and everything like that. And
is it that though? Is that really is that just like an excuse, Ian, so that they don't have to play parent? Like, it becomes like because I'll say I have done the same thing. I've been guilty of it too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my child now, you know, LJ has been watching TV a little bit more than he usually does normally watch TV, because I'm working hardcore and I'm tired, and I kind of like, you know, instead of us and he's not choosing to go outside though. That's the thing either. You know what I mean? Because now that he's got a little bit more TV, he's kind of like, well, let's just watch a movie instead of going outside. It's like, oh wait, what am I doing? I'm building this habit.
Yeah.
And I'm building this habit because I'm saying, hey, I don't really want to go outside right now. It's fucking hot. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't think I really want to go do that right now. So let's just watch TV instead. He starts to develop that habit, and then what's he start to do? Choose the TV or the movie over the going outside.
Okay.
That's that.
Well,
like,
I mean, what we do.
I'm gonna watch that one. You know what I mean?
What we do when we actually go out, which we are doing a lot more now that Amber's
Notice that. Yeah.
Amber's working everything. We're doing all that and a lot more. We're taking the phones away from them.
Okay.
Like especially like what kind of got me mad one time was when we actually went to Disney, and like we were watching it was a show, you know what I mean, and it was and the entire time Bella was on her phone. She wasn't even watching the show.
Oh damn.
Like, and I was like, you watching? She's like, yeah, I'm watching. You know, and she's just looking at it. I mean, this is good. I mean, it's a good show. It was like The Lion King and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there thinking, like, because I wanted to take them to like the Lunuba. You know what I mean? The Cirque du Soleil Lunuba. And I'm like, we're taking their phones away, like, period. I don't care if they want to take pictures. I'll take the pictures then, you know?
Yeah, and send it to them.
Or something like that. But, like, I was just like, yeah, because they got to experience other stuff. And I do what you're seeing. Oh. I do see what you're saying, though, as far as, like,
a 2-minute warning.
As being a parent and everything like that, too.
Yeah.
But, I guess, I don't know.
Hey, so the thing with that, though, Steve-O, is that, like, somewhere or another, like, you got to take some responsibility and say that we allowed that habit to form. And now you're trying to change it, too. So now you're saying, take that shit away, we don't want to do it. So now you're
we're slowly doing it, though. We're not taking away from them at home.
Yeah, but you get my point. Now you're trying to break the habit. You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to get them back. Like, what I'm trying to do with my kid, I'm like, all right, I'm realizing the habit's starting to form, and I'm going, okay, now I got to start saying, got to get outside. No more movies. Get out there in the playground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I built that shit.
I'm just saying, though, like, but being aware of that is a very important thing, and taking responsibility to that, because as parents, we really are the guides for these children. A lot of the things that they're going to develop in life, their habits, their thought processes, their perspectives of reality, are going to be a lot based off of what we've allowed them to think and act. You know what I mean? Like, in ways. They've learned a lot from us, and they've learned a lot from what we've, like, how we've reacted during situations. They learn a lot from that too. So,
well, let me ask you this then: what age do you think is appropriate to get a cell phone?
I like that. So 6 years old. That's like you're still not really too far out of my parental wing for me to really feel like there's the need yet. You know, 7 I haven't really got there. 8 starting to feel like we're gonna probably need to start get ready for that. You know, but that shadow fox system. That
but
thing
yes,
where it's just like tie it to your book bag, that kind of thing. The actual genuine cell phone, bro. The first day I got my first cell phone, I got into my first fender bender. And it was a very small one, but it was the first day I got a cell phone, and it was because I was fucking with the cell phone while driving, and that's a big deal. So, like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know when the proper time for that cell phone is. You know what I mean?
The funny thing was they never even said anything about cell phones until, like, their friends started getting them, because they already had iPods and everything, and then her friends started getting them, like, oh, can I get a cell phone? Can I get a cell phone? It was like, it didn't really matter until then.
But that's the way that things happen with kids, you know what I mean? Like, once that first parent does it, the rest of the kids are like, dude, you got, like, and now I'm out of the clique if, I don't get a cell phone, too.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I didn't get one until I was 18.
Yeah, I was 17. And honestly, and it's terrible, but I'm going to tell my kid,
I think I was 16, 17, too.
No,
but
I'm
guys,
not going to get you that.
The same thing, guys. Let's not forget, either. When we were 12... the only cell phones that existed were those big bulky ones inside the cars, okay? So, like, it was reasonable for us to get ours at 16 or 17.
Right.
Our parents have gotten us one at 8 and 10 and 12 had it been, like, they lived now. You know what I mean? Like, and would our whole perspective be different on that?
So what do you think the kids are going to turn out to be like then?
I think that if you can... I think it's all about awareness at the end of the day. If you as a parent can tell your child to be aware of those times when they're just, like you were saying, just constantly consumed in their phone or this or that, at the end of the day, people have to make their own choices. They have to be responsible for their own choices. If you can help them be aware of the times when they're making bad choices or help them to see a different choice, you still got to, at the end, like, let them make the choice. I think that's the only thing you can really do. It's just help them see that. And then, like, hope that they make that choice because they see that it's going to better them instead of, like, hinder them in any way.
Yeah.
You know?
So, okay, then to wrap up this topic, let's all say our ages that you think that they should get a cell phone, and then the ages that would be okay for them to have their own console.
Okay.
Gaming console.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, so Rocco, go.
2.
So cell phone, I'm
I
gonna
thought we were saying
say
it together.
No.
cell phone. I'll say 14 years old. I think high school is a good time for the cell phone.
Okay.
I think that that's a time when he's starting to open up a little bit more socially, and he might want to be in contact with his friends. And I'm not too sure if I want him to have a Facebook, so I think texting might be a little bit more appropriate.
Okay.
Can keep those messages a little bit more private. I think that might, as of right now, and who knows, when I get there, that might be the case. But 14 for me.
Steve-O?
I
But
think
that
right
Shadow
about that.
Fox-
I think
that
you're
Shadow
right
Fox
there about
thing?
like.
I'm sorry, one second. That Shadow Fox thing
Would
I
be
can see that
before.
happening at like 7.
Right. That's totally fine. I'm just wondering about an actual cell phone.
Yeah, 14
So,
for that.
okay.
Plus, who doesn't want to fuck around with walkie-talkies, especially with their son? You know how
It's
fun
not
that would be.
Oh, yeah.
really a walkie-talkie. I don't know if they can contact the parent back. I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
I think they can press a button or something like that. I don't know if it's just a one-way sort of thing. I think it's a two-way, but I'm not too sure.
I got a question. Would you give yourself nicknames?
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Like Falcon X.
I'll bring it back to the 80s.
Falcon X
So
says
I'll
open
be
mouth.
Maverick.
Oh, man.
Look out.
So, Steve-O, what ages are you thinking?
I'm probably with Rocco actually. I would say 14 would have been a good one because you're getting in ninth grade, you're getting to high school. I mean, like they don't go out too much or anything like that. But if they did start getting a little more freedom, I kind of want to know,
Mhm.
them to check in and everything like that too, and
Yeah.
know how everything's going. Plus, I don't want them to get Facebook because I don't know. I'm just against Facebook, even though I have a Facebook and like I'm
Right.
usually constantly always on it and everything. But it's mainly to see what you guys are doing because I stalk you guys all the time.
That's fine.
And
I don't post anything.
I know you don't.
But
And I'm like waiting. I'm sitting
Yeah.
waiting at your page. It's like, is he gonna post anything? And
I
they never
am.
do.
I'm just going to say, hi, Steven.
They do it. I swear. I'll screenshot that shit and send it to you immediately. Yeah, great.
What do you think, Ian?
I kind of agree. I would say like 13, 14, possibly like 15 age, like when they're starting to kind of go out and do more things. What you mentioned that, what is it, Snow Fox? Or
It's
what
like
is
the
it?
Shadow Fox.
Shadow Fox.
Something like that, yeah. something
That's
Like,
great.
say 9 times.
Because all I kept thinking of is like, like the old person cell phones, the jitterbugs, where it's just numbers and that's it. Like they don't have like a really screen or like you can't do anything. Getting my kid something like that, be like, hey, and you can only call me, your mother, or like 911
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It's just useful for just those safety purposes. that's it.
Exactly. So,
'Cause our world, let's like be realistic. Our world is a little dangerous right now.
oh, of
So,
course, and it'd be nice to have that ability to get a hold of them. So, but yeah, an actual cell phone. I'll just go with the middle. I'll say 14, but I'll have to really see how things are. Like, okay, what if my kid is in a competitive sport that, we're busier and stuff, and then maybe they have practices, but I might still do the same little Shadow
Yeah.
Fox thing.
Yeah.
Their own console. I mean, I
Yeah,
would be cool.
console.
I'd be cool with like.
Their own console. Okay, this is now going to be in their bedroom or their own little one. Okay,
Right.
so this isn't the one that they're going to share with Dad. This is their own.
I would say like.
This means that they're probably going to be 24/7 on this bitch.
7, 8. I mean, because honestly, I had one when I was really young, but but of course, my parents were kind of regulating time and stuff like that. Like, hey, you can play it after you sweep the pool and do this and that and this. I'm like, okay, so I run and go do all these things, and then I'd start playing.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm still at a different thing with you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think,
I do. No, I mean, we're at the end of the topic already, but
Okay.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah.
I
go
just,
ahead.
age?
huh?
Go ahead
What
quick.
age on the
But
console?
on the console, I would say probably 8 or 9, maybe
8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd say with a console, actually, I would say probably still like 15, 14, 15, to be honest. Like, I would let him share Dad's for a while, and I don't think I would let him kind of like have his full, run on it until he's a little bit more older, hopefully make better decisions
Mm-hmm.
and not be so like, because 8, I still feel is very influential, still can be molded by the world around him. Where 15, I feel like you're a little bit more independent, you know yourself, you know your decisions, you know your likes and stuff like that, and you can kind of take a little bit more responsibility for your actions. I think that then at that point you can be, because it could be like a gift or like
Yeah.
a really bad thing, you know what I mean? Like,
True.
they would really hold you back a lot in life if you invest a lot of time in the video games that aren't going to get you anywhere. You could have been doing something else that could have got you somewhere.
We never got
Okay.
Like,
we never got Clay's perspective though. Clay.
come on, Clay.
I think a kid could get a cell phone at 2 years old, and him and I will be calling each other all the time. And then their own console, never, because I'll always have the consoles. They're mine. I'm buying them.
It sounds so much like Clay right now.
That's mine.
That sounds so much like Clay.
All right, let's go.